WRTK 342 with an audio check.
This is WRKB 779. Looks like we're on the 411 already. Can't announce the 700. Everybody get down here. I guess Chris already did that.
Roger that. Made several announcements and gave them time moves, so we're ready to roll. 2 more minutes plus for the repeaters to ID. WRT 828. This is WRT 828. If you're in front of a computer, it's really handy dandy if you log into the GMRSLive.com and look at the status page. That'll kind of give you an idea if somebody's talking, so maybe we won't have so many pileups. If you're in front of a computer, that is. Helps out really tremendously.
WRJI 546 828.
JR226, radio check.
It's the top of the hour. This is the Zello link on GMRS Live, nationwide.
All right, good evening, everyone. This is WRKB 779. My name's Coy, and I will be your net control for this week's Wind Down Wednesday night net check-in. I also have Chris, WRT 828, BJ, WRNS 719, and a newcomer to the Roadkill net, Doug, WROY 524. All three are working with me to manage the check-in list. This net is hosted every Wednesday at 7 p.m. Central Time by our members in support with the GMRS Live network. This net is set up for everybody to participate and enjoy the free exchange of information within the GMRS Live community and the GMRS radio frequencies, and it's open to anybody holding a valid GMRS license. Now, if anybody has any emergency during this net, please key up with a break, and the network will pause for your emergency traffic. All right, at this time, we're going to start looking at check-ins. We're going to break it up into a few groups. We're going to start with the mobiles and the Zellos, and then we're going to go into anybody with a call sign ending in 0 through 3. 4 through 6, and 7 through 9. And so everybody listen to this part. When we start check-ins, there's no need to call for net control, and each user in the check-in group can freely key up with their call sign and first name. Call sign and first name, not just call sign, not just name, both call sign and first name. Such as WRKB 779, this is Coy. Now please be aware there may be some doubles, and we'll ask for confirmation if we hear a double. After we get everybody checked in that group, we're going to go back through the list, and everybody will have an opportunity to key back up with traffic and how everything's going, or the questions you may have. Questions will be held until all check-ins are complete. Now, before we get started, let's go ahead and work on mobiles before people get out of range. Let me pull up the status page. BJ, Chris, Doug, y'all ready? Let's go mobiles. Again, anybody that's mobile right now and might be out of range for a repeater, it's your turn to check in. Alright, that's kind of a first. Usually we have a few mobiles. Alright, let's move on to the folks on Zello. Now, in the case of Zello, there used to be a delay. I think we've kind of worked that out. But anybody on Zello, go ahead and check in now. Call sign, first name, please.
WRAS 405, John out of Bedford, Indiana.
WRUZ 487, Eric, Avon, Indiana.
WRQC 512, Jason in Denham Springs, Louisiana.
St. Cloud, Florida, Lone Wolf Systems.
Alright, we had somebody on the Lone Wolf double up. Come back, Lone Wolf.
WRUW 660, Pat, Lone Wolf Systems, St. Cloud, Florida.
Alright, any more Zellos? Then I'll go back to the top. Zellos, check in now.
WRUH 231, Ellery, New Bedford, Massachusetts.
341, Roberto, Humacao, Puerto Rico.
At the GMRSLive.
Alright, we had, I think, 3 or 4 people key up there. I got, I think, a 231 and a 341 Roberto. But y'all kind of piled on each other. Just FYI, keep the status page open. That'll tell you if somebody's keying up on Zello. Let's go ahead and try that again. We got Roberto in, I think, 341, but we missed the letters.
Okay, Whiskey, Romeo, Juliet, Uniform, 341, Roberto, Humacao, Puerto Rico. I'm here in Florida, in Davenport.
Alright, we had a couple others key up there over Zello, I think. Go ahead.
I speak a little English. I listen the net. I know traffic in this moment.
Homestead, Florida, South Dade, GMRSLive.
Alright, I'm hearing something out of the South Dade. Y'all are checking in on the Zello. I'm only doing Zello check-ins right now. Alright, I'm going to go back to the top. Guys that are logging this, I caught John out of Bedford, Indiana, I'll have to look it up. I think it's WRAS 405, guys. But John, go ahead.
Yeah, WRAS 405, John out of Bedford, Indiana. Thank you for hosting. No traffic for the net tonight. Thank you.
Copy that, John. And actually, yeah, we've got it out of order. I need to fix the script one day. But I did have a topic tonight. I can't take credit for it. We got to thank WRJX303 for the idea. I'll come back to you, John. But basically, tell us a vacation spot that you went to as a kid that you hope to take your kids to. And if you don't have kids, just tell us, maybe a vacation spot you went as a kid that you'd love to go back to. All right? So, John, let's circle back and get you in.
Oh, my memory isn't like it's used to be. I can't remember any exact places that I went to as a kid, but I want to say Lake Michigan was one of them, and my son's already been there. But I plan to take him to more places than I had than what I did as a child.
All right, good deal, John. Yeah, it's just one of those things. You have a lot of ideas. All right, WRUZ 487, Eric, same question.
WRUZ 487, Eric. Golly, geez, that's a hard one. I vacationed all over as a kid, but my most favorite recent one, we just went down to Gatlinburg, Tennessee. Took the in-laws down there with us. I have two children, 10 and 13, and we had an absolute blast. Plan on taking them down again next year as well. Thanks for hosting Annette. Excuse me, y'all do a wonderful job, and I'm glad to be a part of it. WRUZ 487.
Thanks for that, Eric. Yeah, I used to live in Nashville, and I remember when I was a kid, I'd see ads for Gatlinburg all the time. WRQC 512, Jason. Same question, Jason. Vacation place and maybe where you like to take your kids, someplace you've been.
Well, I don't have any kids, but you can call me a punk, P-U-N-K, professional uncle, no kids. I don't really have anywhere in particular that I would like to take my nieces and nephews to. It was always about more of the just being with your family and not really having to worry about a whole lot, and that's really my goal in life is to retire early and not have to worry about much.
Roger that, Jason. Yeah, it's not about where you are, but who you're with. All right, WRUW660, Pat. Go ahead.
Sorry, I missed the question there.
No problem, Pat. Basically, if there's a place that you went to, a travel destination, vacation place that you went to as a kid that you'd like to now take your children to, and if you don't have kids, maybe a place that you'd like to visit again that you haven't been to in years.
Probably Scotland. That'd be at the top of my list. Love to go back now that I'm older.
Copy that, Pat. Yeah, I've got a friend that always plans, I think, an annual trip. He's big on the whiskey, so he definitely goes over there. And when I lived abroad, I never did get a chance to go over to Scotland, so I definitely want to hit that up. That's a great one. WRUH 231, I believe Ellery. Go ahead, 231, same question. Alrighty, nothing heard from 231. Again, you're not checked in until you come back around and answer the question, talk to us. WRJU341, Roberto, I know you said some issues with English, but Any vacation spot that you'd like to take your kids or a place that you'd like to go back to?
WQIJ 517 mobile.
All right, I heard a 517. Just FYI, we're running a net tonight. So wait until we call on your group. You'll be in the 7s, the 7 through 9. So we're not there yet. Anybody else on Zello? We'll do a last call and then move on.
WPWX694 on Zello, Unit 1. I like going to Tennessee. It was nice when I was younger also. But that's pretty much it. I have no kids, so.
All right, we're going to have to circle back to you because I'm doing Zellos right now. I think 517, though, said he was mobile. So let me go ahead and get 517 checked in there, circle back around to you, 517. I don't know if you heard the question, but if there's a place you visited as a kid, some vacation spot that you'd like to take your kids, feel free to share that with us, some place you might like to go back to.
Joe, thank you so much. Net control is WQYJ 517, South Day GMRS Club in Miami. We got no traffic here. Appreciate it. I'm about to get out of repeater distance. I'm on a long drive. I don't know how that is. It might be dropping out pretty soon. But appreciate it. And basically, I'd actually like to take my out one day.
All right, 517, guys, that's Luis, L-U-I-S. Let's see, WPWX, we'll go ahead and get you Ramon 694, same question.
When I went to, I like to go back to California.
All right, Ramon, you got a little choppy there, but California, yeah, there's lots to do in California, so great vacation. All right, folks, that'll do the Zellos and the mobiles. Let's move on to anybody that has a call sign that ends with a 0 through 3. Again, anybody with a 0 through 3 call sign, let's go ahead and check you in now. WRA663, Guard. All right, we had two people, I think, key up, but both of them were pretty staticky. Let's see, GMRS Radio Hub.
WRKT 503, Mike, South Bay GMRS Club, South Miami.
WRFR 912, Justin.
WRA663, Guard.
JF803, Bruce in Bakersfield, California.
WRAR 363, Newton, Georgia.
All right, let's pause there. Yeah, I heard you come in there, Greg. We got to get your call sign. You doubled up with either 363 or 343. Let's hear your call sign again, Greg. Yeah, Greg, getting lots of static from you, so maybe try again. And I don't see, let's see, 363, I don't see it in the list, so See if we get 363 to come back with the first name.
WRAR 363, Mike, Noonan, Georgia.
This is WROT, Brian from Bakersfield, California.
All right, Brian, let's get some digits on that too, not just WROT.
WRPW 661, Fort Lauderdale.
WROT 582, Brian from Bakersfield, California.
Yeah, I think we have somebody trying to come through on the Doral, Florida repeater. There's a lot of static. We got you in there, Bakersfield. Nothing from Greg. WROT 582. We got you. 661. We got a couple 661. So come back. I think that was probably Jack. But 661, come back with your call sign and personal again.
WRPW 661, Jack in Fort Lauderdale.
All right, copy that. And then we had, again, the Doral, Florida one. Somebody want to try and come in from there? All right, nothing heard. So let's go back to 0 through 3s in case you missed the question. Vacation spot you went to as a kid, someplace you might like to take your kids now. If you don't have kids, someplace you'd like to revisit. WRKT 503, Mike. I got WRJT, guys, but we'll see. Mike, go ahead.
Yeah,
Oh yeah, Mike, definitely beautiful country. My mom grew up out that way, out in rural Virginia, and we still got some land there. I lived in Charlottesville for years, so yeah, Blue Ridge Mountains were a lot of fun to visit. If anybody ever gets a chance, drive slow, but take the drive up and down the Blue Ridge Mountains. Hit up the Luray Caverns while you're at it. WRFR 912, Justin, go ahead.
WRFR 912 out of Spring, Texas. Thank you for running the net and for the opportunity. There's a few spots that I could mention, but I'm just going to say the Upper Peninsula of Michigan. I went there a couple times and just had an amazing time and couldn't stop taking pictures. And it was just, I really love nature. There's a lot of beautiful nature out there. So I think I'd like to go back there and take my kids, which I have not done yet. So thank you, and hello to everybody on the net, WRFR 912.
Thank you for that, Justin. And then we got a WR, and I heard a 3-3. I believe it was Clark, and I know we've checked you in on previous net, but I believe it was Clark coming in. You want to go ahead and give us your call sign again and answer the question? All right, nothing heard from. I might have heard Carter, but I think his call sign ended with 3-3. Anybody out there with either Clark, Carter, or ends with a 3-3?
WR86663, Fort Lauderdale.
All right, we'll put you on there, 663. We'll get you at the end. BJ, you got it. And then go ahead, 663. Go ahead with the question, and we'll get you checked in.
I would like to take my kids back to Jamaica. That's where I'm from. A lot of good memories. I took them here before, and I would love to take them back again.
Copy that, 663. Yeah, every once in a while I hear somebody on HF running skip out of Jamaica. Can we get your first name? Make sure we got it right in the log.
My first name is Garth, part of the South Aid GMRS Club.
Roger that, Garth. Let's move on to 803 Bruce. Same question, get you checked in.
For myself, well, first off, thanks for running the net this evening. I like to take my kids up and down the coast. I haven't did it in quite some time, so now I have grandkids. So I like to share the experiences that I had when I used to take my kids, because we start from, go towards Santa Barbara, and we just kind of work our way all the way out to San Francisco. And it takes practically all day. It takes maybe a couple days if I kept going, but I just like the West Coast as far as the ocean and stuff like that, stopping at different places of eating, different types of seafood and whatnot. So it's just an enjoyable, relaxing scenery and a drive.
Thanks for that, Bruce. Yeah, that's definitely one I'd like to take, a trip I've never been on. WRAR 363 Mike, same question. Let's see what you got to say. There you go. Yeah, lots of mountains to choose from. And then you got the radio, so hopefully they're on board with using little handhelds, and you guys can have a good time. Let's see, we got Greg, WRUH411. How we doing, Greg? Same question.
This is Greg, WRUH411. Yeah, one of my favorite places I've ever been to is Phoenix, Arizona. I just like the activities they have there, the land. Thanks for running the net. That's cool.
I would have to say the most spectacular place I ever was the Hoover Dam.
Copy. Yeah, that's one I didn't think of. But yeah, that's definitely the RV trip type of destination there. I think a lot of people have spent some time there. All right, let's move on to the 4 through 6s, and this tends to be a big group, so we might have some doubles. I see the RNC 518 repeaters trying to key up again. We've been having a lot of trouble with static on that one. I'm going to pause and see if they want to give it another shot. Somebody coming in on Doral, Florida, want to give it another try. Alrighty, nothing heard, so let's continue. If your call sign ends with a 4, 5, or a 6, it's time for you to check in. Remember, call sign, first name, and then I'm going to circle back around, and then you're checked in after we talk to you.
WROR 906, Tone, Apopka, Florida, Lone Wolf System.
WRTL 238, Chris Hammond.
BRTR 516, Marshall.
WRJI 546, Mike.
WRUK 935, Eric.
Alright, again, we're doing 4 through 6s. I know we had an 8 in there. I'll come back to you, but again, anybody with a call sign ending through 4, with 4, 5, or 6, come on and get checked in here.
I think Tone keyed on top of me. Did you get WRTE 516, St. Cloud, Florida, Lone Wolf?
Yeah, we got you now. Need a first name?
Sean.
I see you keying up there, Bakersfield. What you got? Go ahead. Alright, nothing heard. Alright, let's go back to the top. Tone, Mr. Florida himself, probably get prepared for the storm coming in. He's probably not thinking about vacations right now, but let's think happy thoughts, Tone. Let's share some stories. What you got?
Well,
I like your spirit there, Tone. Yeah, I actually used to live in the Caribbean too, St. Martin. And so, yeah, I want to take my wife down there. I was kind of saddened when they got hit by the hurricane so bad. But, yeah, definitely a good idea to do cruises down that way. Chris, WRTL 238. What you got for us, Chris?
Nothing. I was just checking in. Sorry. I checked in too early. I'm kind of busy. I thought I heard a 729 at the end.
Roger that. Yeah, I didn't know if you wanted to respond to the question of vacation destination that maybe you'd like to revisit or take your kids.
I have no kids, but I'd like to travel a little more with my camper.
Roger that. I think lots of folks they get the camper and then they end up not traveling. That's what folks are dealing with right now. They got an Airstream and they haven't taken too many trips with it yet. So there's a goal for you. WRQK 561 Marshall. Go ahead, Marshall. Same question. All right, I think, Marshall, we didn't get your call sign, but Marshall, you want to come back with your check-in?
WRTR 516, Marshall, Bakersfield, California.
Roger that, Marshall. So same question, vacation spot that maybe you took as a kid, you'd like to take your kids or revisit?
Yeah, when I was a kid, my parents took us up to a place just a bit north and a little bit east of here, up in the mountains called Balsh Park. My kids, they're all long grown and gone. They were beach people, so we used to go to Pismo Beach, and now I have my grandkids, and I take them anywhere they want to go.
There you go, Marshall. Yeah, I think that's just spoil the grandkids, right? That's the idea. I'm kind of curious to hear. Chris is going to have a story about that, I'm sure. WRJI 456, Mike, same question.
I went to the Smoky Mountains as a kid, but I think I'd like to go see Mount Rushmore. That'd be pretty amazing.
Copy that. Yeah, I've been out that way. It's beautiful country. And you get up right underneath it. You got the rocks down in front. And then don't forget, I think it's Crazy Horses right around the corner is worth seeing too. WRUK 935, Eric. What's going on, Eric? Same question.
WRUK 935, Eric, out of Hardin, Montana. Probably like to take my kids back over to Germany and do some more traveling around in Europe. We spent about 3 years there and just had my oldest boy when we lived there, so I'd like to take the other 2 kids out there and let them experience that.
Copy that. Yeah, definitely. Europe's always a fun place to hit up. And Germany especially. WRTE 516, same question. Sean.
I would like to go to Gettysburg in winter. They say every once in a while you can see the blood running.
Copy that, Sean. Yeah, I know I've been out to Gettysburg, but never heard that one. But yeah, the Civil War history, any of those sites, some kids like it, some kids don't. But a big site like that, they'll definitely remember. All right, I'm gonna do a last call, 4 through 6s, just because I know we usually have a lot of people. So if your call sign ends with a 4 through 6, let's try and get you checked in now, and then I'll move on.
WROY 524, Doug.
WRUI 655.
WRKL 765. Name here is Ed.
All right, copy that. Let's go back to Doug, WROY 524. Doug, you probably, I know your answer. I think, I know you're going with your son. Is that going to be your answer? Where are you going, Doug?
Well, it's going to be my grandson, not my son. But, yeah, I'm going to recreate the whole gambit from Mexico all the way around the Grand Canyon, all the way up to Yellowstone and points beyond, wherever we decide we go, for about 2 solid months.
Roger that, Doug. Yeah, it sounds like a fun trip. That's kind of the path I took around my 21st birthday years ago. We made that route. We did the southern route, and then we went north to Yellowstone and came back down. So that's a good trip. I think you'll enjoy it. Mike, WRUI 655, same question.
Mike, WRUI 655, Bakersfield, California. I'd like to try to go back to Jordan Hot Springs again, but I figure I'd have a heart attack, and the cost of the airlift to get me out would not be worth it.
Copy that. There's a guy with some goals and aspirations right there. WRKL 756 Ed, same question.
The question again? I just turned on the radio, sorry.
All right, I got you, Ed. So the question tonight is, I can't take credit for it. I got it from 303, but someplace you went as a kid, some childhood vacation spot that maybe you'd like to take your kids, or if you don't have kids, someplace that you'd like to revisit.
I'd like to take my son to Lake Ouachita in Arkansas and fish for those big striped bass that we fish for over there. I did that whenever I was a kid, and got me hooked on fishing. I'd like to take my son back and get him hooked the same way. That's all I got.
Copy that, Ed. Yeah, they do fight pretty good. So, yeah, sounds like a fun fishing trip. Definitely a great idea. Lots to do in the Ouachita area, too, there in Arkansas. All right, let's move on to the 7 through 9. So if your call sign ends with a 7, 8, or a 9, it's time for you to check in. I'll go ahead and check myself in. WRKB 779, Coy here in Baton Rouge. Let's hear you, 7 through 9s.
WRCF 487, Ken, Baton Rouge, Louisiana.
WRJK 797, Whiskey Romeo, Juliet Kilo 797, Quentin in Houston.
RTH 658, Scott, Lincoln, Illinois.
WRTM 727, Kevin, Lincoln, Illinois.
W619, Matt, Lubbock, Texas.
All right, we had a few key ups there. That last one I missed too, and I saw somebody on Randy Pittsburgh key up there just now. Let's go back. Heard Kevin, Jason maybe, the 669. Somebody key up Jason, and then we got GMRS Radio Hub, and we got one from the Lone Wolf. So let's start with Jason and work our way down.
WRUC 669. Jason, Coventry, Rhode Island.
All right, somebody on the GMRS radio hub, go ahead. All right, nothing heard. Now somebody was on the Lone Wolf and they tried to key up. Somebody in Florida and Sorrento. Want to give it another shot?
Yes, sir. I saw that there was more than one light, so I unkeyed WROG208 Alex from Lone Wolf System.
Copy that. And then I think we were catching up. So Randy, Pittsburgh, go ahead.
Good evening. My name is Randy, located out here in Pittsburgh, California, WRPA 270. I just connected into the node, and I didn't realize that you guys had a net or something going on. WRPA 270.
Copy that, Randy. Yeah, every Wednesday night. And so now you know. But yeah, we'll get you in there. Anybody else, if your call sign ends with 7 through 9, we got a few that are running the net in the background that need to key up too.
WRFT 828, Chris in the Bayou Country on the Roadkill repeater system.
WRPE 299, this is Keith.
This is WRNS 719, EJ New Orleans.
I just turned this on, so I don't know where we are in the lineup, but KAE 6164 on Ahoy.
WRAF 619, Lubbock, Texas, Matt.
WRKQ 654, San Antonio.
All right, so we got a lot of people checking in that must have missed their chance earlier. Matt, can we get a call sign again? We got the 619, but we didn't get the letters.
Whiskey, Romeo, Alpha, Foxtrot, 619, Matt.
All right, good deal. All right, I'm going to do a last call for the 7 through 9s. I'm going to go back to the top. So anybody ends with a 7, 8, or 9, this is your time to check in.
Whiskey, Romeo, Oscar, India, 797, Mike from Hobart, Indiana.
WRDC 559, Juan from Hammond, Indiana.
Alrighty, so with nothing else being heard, I'm going to go back to the top. Since I was the first one that checked in there at the top, I'll say mine. Growing up, my family always went to the Outer Banks there in North Carolina, and we always camped at campground in Duck. And so I actually did take my son back there and my wife, and we went up the lighthouses, checked out all the lighthouses, went all the way down to Ocracoke, Kitty Hawk, you name it. We hit every place. I saw places that are still there since I was a kid. Had some good food, had a good time. But the campground, sadly, is now all built up, and there are homes there. So we didn't get to camp out there, but But yeah, it's definitely a great question, and it brought back some memories for me. WRCF 47, Ken, go ahead.
Hey, thanks for running the net. Yeah, I'd like to revisit with the grandkids the Inca pyramids close to Mexico City, and just see how much Mexico City's changed, and finish it off in Acapulco on one of those party ships. Definitely a hair-raising experience. Go ahead.
Roger that, Ken. Yeah, I've never been. I mean, I've been to Cancun, but I never got to venture beyond that. So, yeah, I think while we're doing this, people are getting vacation ideas. So that's great. Quentin, WRJK 797. So you and Maureen, any place, either one of y'all, and Maureen's welcome to chime in too. Someplace you went as a kid that maybe you'd like to take your kids?
Well, yeah, that is a pretty tough one. I can't really say I have any particular memories or locations like that, but on a similar note, it is my dream to go and visit where my great-grandparents were born, which is Bergen, Norway. I'd love to go and see the fjords, and my wife and I, we love watching live streams of people driving the train in Norway. So yeah, very beautiful, very relaxing. And if we can't make it to Scandinavia, then I'll just have to bring them to my home state of Minnesota. Land of 10,000 lakes, don't you know? Oh yeah, you betcha, sure. Lots of good fishing up there then. Just don't forget to put on your jacket. It's mighty cold, don't you know? This is Whiskey Romeo Juliet Kilo 797. Thank you for calling me, and back to net control. Clear.
Copy that, Quentin. Yeah, I mean, you're talking about Norway and then Minnesota. I got a friend that he moved from the States to Finland, and so he talks about the winters there. And so it'd be tough to compare. It's cold either way. But yeah, Norway sounds fun, and yeah, pining for the fjords, right? For my Monty Python fans out there. I don't know if Maureen had any place in particular, but it sounds like you both like the same place. WRTH 658, Scott, same question.
WRTH 658, Scott. Growing up, we always went to Sandusky, Ohio to Cedar Point, to the amusement park there. Someday, my wife, she's not a big fan of heights, so she don't do the roller coasters or Ferris wheels or anything like that. But my daughter, she does like the heights and the roller coasters, and she gets a little bit older. It would be fun to, take her there one day and let her ride the rides that I used to ride and go to the water park there and see what we got. So thanks for running that, guys. This is WRT 658. I will be clear. I'll listen on my side.
Copy that, Scott. Yeah, the parks, the amusement parks and water parks, yeah, that's, things change. They have new rides, and I think the last one I went to, I was a little disappointed because something changed. I can't remember what. But yeah, definitely a place you'd like to take kids back to, especially if they're the thrill seekers like you. WRTM 727, Kevin, same question.
WRTM 727, Kevin, Illinois. I used to live in Wichita Falls, Texas, and took my kids down there. Always had plans on moving back there, actually, but never made it. Now I'm older. I don't know that I would ever move down there, but I'd like to take them back through there. But I went to Tucson, Arizona when I was a kid. I had some family that lived over there. I used to walk their tarantulas on a leash, and I'd like to take my kids there and see the mountains and stuff before I check out. That's what I got.
Thanks for that, Kevin. Yeah, I was telling Doug about that area around Wichita Falls. A lot of red dirt just north of there. I got vivid memories of the terrain and some dust devils that came across the road. And then I almost actually moved to Tucson. My folks We went on a little tour, landed in Phoenix, and went out to Tucson, so I know what you mean. Lots of places in this country that are really neat. Jason, WRUC 669, go ahead.
Oh, thank you for having me tonight. When I was a kid, one of the places I used to go all the time was my father's aunt's house up in Putnam Valley, New York, right on Lake Oscawana. And, you know, it'd be nice to go up there one time, you know, bring the kids, show them around up there, and, you know, show them, what I grew up doing up there. But unfortunately, my aunt passed away last week, so not quite sure what's going to happen up there now.
Yeah, copy that, Jason. Yeah, lake countries, no matter where you go, anywhere it's got a big lake, it's fun. I will want to comment, and even Chris is coming. You ought to adjust your simple USB audio volume. You're coming in really, really low, so it's hard to hear you. Maybe after the net, some of the guys can help you out and tune that. But if you know how to get in there and mess with it, after the net, you might tweak it. Alex, WROG 208. Go ahead, same question. Copy that, Alex. Yeah, definitely. That's something I've never done. I went in the summer. Got to see a lot of wildlife, but yeah, the winter time is tough because sometimes they close the park. So I see Randy tried to key up there. But Alex, you're also coming in a little bit low, so it might be something to work on. Randy, WRPA 270. We're coming to you next. Same question. Randy, you still out there? I saw you pop up, and then I don't see you. Maybe you disconnected. All right, nothing heard from WRPA 270. We might check back with him later, guys. Chris, WRPA 828. So the grandkids, where do they want to drag you to? What's the plan, Chris?
Oh, my Lord. Yeah, the kids like to...
Thanks for that, Chris. Yeah, you and the other guy ought to get together, and you guys go to Ireland and Scotland together. Make it a GMRSLive vacation. Sounds like a good movie. WRPE 299, Keith, go ahead.
Hello and good evening to everyone out there. As far as vacations go, years ago I went with my family on a vacation cruise Vancouver, British Columbia, up to Alaska and back. Best 7 days I ever had in my life. Highly recommend it if anybody ever wants to try something like that. We went in June, and it was nice. Another place I enjoy going up and visiting my relatives up in Medicine Hat, Alberta, Canada. Thoroughly enjoy that. And that's about all I have. Thank you for hosting the net. You do a super job. WRPE 299 will be gone.
R950, WRFR 950.
Roger that, Keith. And we had let's see, 950, WRFR 950 on the GMRS radio hub. You want to come back with that, or you trying to check in?
ROI 797 tried to check in as well.
RKU 322, Lambertville, checking in.
It's the top of the hour.
QVS 968.
This is the Zello link
Bill,
on GMRSLive
Texas, checking in.
nationwide.
All right, I'm going to jump in just so everybody knows we're checking in 7 through 9s right now. That's how numbers work. So let's just do 7 through 9s. We got you listed 322. I'll come back to you. 950. I'll come back to you. But again, if your call sign ends with a 7 through 9, now's your chance. Anybody else, I'll get you on last call. Let's move on to Mr. BJ, WRNS 719. Not sure if he wants to go back to Michigan or if he's got other plans. What's going on, BJ?
Roger that. Thanks for hosting it up there, Coy. This is WRNS 719. Anywhere in the north would be nice. I don't have any kids, but my nephews are up there in the north, and one of them's in Michigan, but I will tag along with Quentin there, Quentin and Maureen, because Norway is a good place, and I like Tromsø the most, and that would be a beautiful place. It's very quiet, nice area, and you got that northern lights. That's really very interesting and cool to see. And back to you, Net.
Copy that, BJ, or should I say roger that? Yeah, definitely. The North Country is always fun. No matter where you go, they got some good seasons. You know, take your pick. But yeah, going abroad, highly recommend it. Get to see different parts of the world, experience different cultures, kind of get out of your comfort zone a little. It changes the way you see the world. All right, Mr. Dave out there in Hawaii, you got us all beat, I think. Somebody actually wants to come see you. I heard Hawaii mentioned earlier. What you got? Where would you like to go or take your kids or revisit?
Aloha, everyone, and sorry for jumping in out of sequence. I didn't know where we were. I just turned it on and heard check-ins going on, so I jumped in. Anyway, a lot of places I'd like to see. I'm actually, even though I'm on an island, we're kind of tentatively planning on visiting the big island of Hawaii, because we've never been on that island, maybe early next year. But on a grander scheme, I'd like to get back to Europe sometime. I spent a little bit of time over there when I was in the Navy, but, you know, that was work. So I had little time and even less money to do anything. So I'd like to get back over there and see Europe. I have family in Sicily, and my wife has family in Malta, so it might be fun to go over there and see some family and see some of Europe. So that's what I got, Black Raw. Back to you, Net Control. Thanks for hosting the net, KE6164.
Thanks for that, Dave. Yeah, head to the Big Island and check it out. Yeah, it's a little bit different than the rest, but yeah, then Europe, and then you reminded me of something. I had a friend. He's actually my folks' neighbor. Used to be in the Navy, and he talked about the Philippines and being on the ocean out there and how beautiful it was. So, nobody said, everybody's kind of mentioned some cruises, but like open ocean trips are on the list too, I would say, if you can do it. WRAF 619 Matt, we're coming around to you. Same question. All right, Matt, revisit the question. So when you were a kid, you probably had some vacations that your parents took you on. Maybe someplace you'd like to take your kids now, or someplace, if you don't have kids, someplace you'd like to revisit.
There was a place that we went here in Texas. It was a lake. I think it was I can't remember the name of the lake, but we went every year. We had a freaking a chuck wagon. We spent a whole week there every year. And I'd like to go back there, but I don't have no kids, so.
Copy that, Matt. Yeah, I mean, that's kind of the way I changed the question up from the original, because some people don't have kids, and, maybe there's someplace you'd like to go back to. Hopefully you find out the name of that area and you get back there someday. All right, Mr. Pilot over here, WRKQ 654. Lee, you still out there? I'm sure you've seen a lot, but any places that you're partial to? Maybe you'd like to take your kids? Uh-oh, looks like maybe Lee checked out. All right, Lee, if you're still out there, I'll give you one last try to check in.
ROI 797, Mike from Holbert, Indiana. Do you copy?
Yep, got a copy on you, Mike. You're next on the list. Seeing if Lee was out there. But go ahead, Mike. Same question. What you got?
Yeah, sorry about that, man. I didn't think I was getting in. But yeah, man, I think place I like is Turkey Run over in Indiana. It's a cool place to hang out. A bunch of trails and
It's the top of the hour. This is the Zello link on GMRSLive, nationwide.
asking me the name of the park. I don't know if you Indiana folks know Shakamak, but yeah, that's where my aunt and uncle and cousins took me when I was a kid. All right, so we got some late check-ins here. We got WRFR 950 Daniel. Let's hear it.
Node 750 connected to node 7501.
All right, nothing heard from Daniel. Remember, guys, you got to pay to play. You got to come back around, and after we hear your call sign or name, we check in when you respond. WROY 797 Ernest, what you got for us? Any answers to that question?
Node 1167 connected to node 1298. Node WRKQ654 disconnected.
Uh-oh, looks like we had some people dash off before they got checked in. WRKU 322 Joe, let's go.
Node 160.
Good, I'm still here.
Disconnected.
Yeah, a place I've never been there, but a place I'd like to go and take the boys would be Copper Harbor, Michigan. That's about as far north as you can get. I'd like to get up there, do some metal detecting and some fishing.
Copy that. Y'all have to look that one up. A lot of new suggestions down there. I'm loving it. WQVS 968, Mr. Bill. What's your answer to this question tonight?
This is WQVS 968, Bill in Rockwell, Texas, and I don't have a specific place. However, as a youngin', I remember very vividly going to various campgrounds in the mountains of Pennsylvania. So therefore, I would like to be going to any mountainous type campground and just relaxing and cooking food on the fire, going down to the lake, little fishing, relaxing, away from all that kind of stuff. So that's all I have. No specific place, but any place in the Smoky Mountains or Pennsylvania or anywhere in the eastern Smoky Mountains. To me, that's some of the most tranquil and beautiful places. Not to take anything away from the Rockies. WQVS 968.
Roger that, Bill. Yeah, definitely mountain country. That's beautiful country. You give me flashbacks to the Pennsylvania Turnpike, though. A little traumatic because I took it when I first got my driver's license. All right, let's do some last calls. Anybody, any call sign, 0 through 9. Let's hear it. Let's get you checked in if we didn't get you checked in.
WRUT 972, John, Conroe, Texas.
WRKQ 654. Again.
All right, still getting static out of that GMRS radio hub. And then I see Crescent City trying to get in. Go ahead, Crescent City.
WRUC 659, Paul in Wagman checking in.
Roger that, Paul. We'll circle back to you. Anybody else? Last call.
WRJX 303, Hammond, Indiana, Roberto.
WRTR 385, Raul, South Day GMRS, Miami, Florida.
WRFL 821, Daryl in Tampa.
South Dade and GMRS Radio key up same time, still static. South Dade, you want to go ahead?
WRTR 38 Raul, South Dade GMRS.
Copy that, Raul. We'll get back to you. We got you in there. Somebody on GMRS Radio Hub again. Getting all static. I don't know if it's the same person that keeps trying to key up, but nothing but static. You might work on your antenna. I'll give you one more shot. All right, nothing hurt. So let's go back. I'm going to try, let's see, John, WRUT 972. Go ahead, John. Make sure you heard the question tonight. If there's a vacation spot y'all went to as a kid and you'd like to take your kids, tell us what that is. If you don't have kids, maybe someplace you'd like to go back to when you vacation as a child. Roger that. Yep, been there, done that. Best part of that was me laughing at people getting taken away in pickup trucks with jail cell bars in the back. All right, Mr. Lee, you still out there? WRKQ 654.
Yep, roger that. I'm still here. WRKQ 654. Probably one of the vacation spots I went on. I wasn't a kid. I was actually an adult, but went on a cruise, went through the Panama Canal. I thought that was pretty cool. Like to take my kids someday. Really like to take them to the Mediterranean, but man, it's a long flight with youngins, so they might have to wait on that one until they're older. WRKQ 654.
Thanks for that, Lee. Got you checked in. Yeah, it's a good idea, Mediterranean, but yeah, like you said, long flight. Let's see, we got Paul, WRUC 659. Go ahead, Paul. I talked to you earlier today.
My parents took me up to Gatlinburg, and I like the area, the view on the river, the old battlefield. I like to bring my kids there and show them. We've been a lot of places, but that's one I haven't hit yet.
Roger that. Yeah, you're the second person to mention Gatlinburg. So, yep. Like I said, when I was a kid, I'd see the ads for that all the time on TV. WRGX 303, the person who's responsible for this topic tonight, Roberto, I believe. Go ahead. You know the topic.
WRJX 303.
Go ahead, 303. There's a bit of delay there.
No problem. Just jumping out of the gas station, making sure I had a signal first. So, growing up, grandparents used to have a vacation cabin up in Canada, up on Rainy Lake, and that was one of the best things that I was doing. Going out there, just relaxing. No TV, no telephone, no people, no cars, just nice outdoors and very simple. Lose a lot of weight up there just playing around. Unfortunately, the grandparents do not have that anymore, so Maybe a trip somewhere close enough would be a good thing to do.
Yep, copy that. Yeah, I feel the same way kind of about going out back to Virginia because I don't have my grandparents' place anymore, but I've taken my wife out there, been through the house again, see how they remodel it. I know how it feels. But yeah, definitely get close enough and revisit. Raul, WRTR 385, same question.
Good evening, checking in from Miami, Florida, South State GMRS Club. To answer tonight's question, definitely the Bahamas as a kid. Head, but
Node 750 connected to Node 750.
Net Control, this is WRTA 28. Yeah, one little note on the side. Some of the Roadkill team will be monitoring Node 900 through the night and through tomorrow, hopefully. If anybody has any emergency communications and wants to jump down to 900, we should have somebody out there to relay information for you. Back to you, Net Control. This is WRTA 28.
Thanks for that, Chris. And yeah, y'all in Florida, be safe. I think it just went up to level 1 hurricane earlier today, or is projected to. Y'all be safe out there. Let us know if we can help in any way. Anybody else from the admin team want to say anything? All right. So with nothing else being heard, we had a total of 46 check-ins tonight. I'd like to thank everybody for checking in. Thank you for supporting the GMRSLive network. Remember that without all of you, the network wouldn't even exist. Each and every one of you is what keeps the network running. And on behalf of the GMRSLive network, I hope you have a great rest of your week and upcoming weekend. At this time, we're going to be returning the system back to normal network use. 73s to everybody, and have a good night. I figured we might run a little bit long because people had stories. But good chat, good topic, and thanks for everybody for being around.